Hey guys, it's Murphy's Opinions here, and today I'm coming at you with a brand new video. Today I'm going to be doing my ranking of tracks from the Beatles' Rubber Soul album, so from my least favourite to my favourite. Although I will say, like with all these sort of track ranking lists, I do enjoy all these songs. There's not really any songs on here that I would say I dislike. There's just some that I like more than others, as it always is. Um, yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the list. Start with the song that I put at the bottom of the pile. So coming in at number 14, I've gone for "What Goes On." It's a fun little track, I will say. I far from hate it. Um, but I do feel like I think what puts this below pretty much every other song on this album. Um, it's just sort of the lyrics just aren't as strong as the rest of the album. I feel like I've kind of heard this song before in other Beatles songs, mainly songs like sort of "No Reply," that sort of thing. But Ringo provides some good drumming and lyric vocals on this, so it's a fun little track. Number 13, I've gone for "The Word." Some nice piano playing on here, but again, there's not much to the song in lyrics. I feel like again this is one of the weaker um, Beatles lyrics. But having said that, I still think even the Beatles songs with the weaker lyrics are still pretty solid lyrics in comparison to a lot of other music. But that's just my opinion anyway. At number 12, I've gone for "Run for Your Life," which is, I believe, a song sort of added in sort of kind of last minute. It was sort of written quite quickly, sort of to add to the album, from what I can remember. I don't think John Lennon's much of a fan of this song. I think it's John Lennon anyway. But yeah, I think it's a good. I think it's a very good song. I think it's John Lennon has a good knack for writing sort of jealous songwriting. Again, this is probably one of the weaker ones, but it's still a very good song. I think there's some good guitar work on it, especially, and it has quite a fast paced tempo, which suits the song, I think. Number 11. A lot of Beatles fans would say this is a very underrated Beatles song, and one of their most underrated. Like I've seen people say this is in the top 10 most underrated Beatles songs. I would disagree. I just think there are better Beatles songs out there that don't get enough credit. But I do like "Wait." I think "Wait" is a good song. But again, to me, in comparison to the rest of the album, it doesn't hold up for me personally. And number 10, "You Won't See Me." I love Paul's vocals on this. You know, it's just, I think that's and I think the harmonies as well from John and George are really good on here. Yeah, I just think this is a really fun song. It's I think one of the more underrated tracks on the album. Number 9, I've gone for "Drive My Car." Really fun way to kick off the album. I think the drumming on it is pretty good. I think Ringo does some nice fills on here. Yeah, I think there's some great harmonies as well in the song. I think this again reminds me of a time when I was just getting into the Beatles, and this is one of the early Beatles songs I remember. So yeah, I have a lot of sort of nostalgia for this song. Number 8, "I'm Looking Through You." A great song by Paul McCartney, actually. Obviously written sort of about his girlfriend at the time, Jane Asher, I believe. Um, yeah, great lyrics, great vocals, great guitar work. It's a brilliant song. Again, another very underrated Beatles song. And speaking of underrated, another song that people would put in sort of a lot of people would put in the top 10 underrated Beatles songs. I wouldn't personally. It wasn't in my top 20 underrated Beatles songs list, but it is very underrated, and it probably would maybe be in consideration for like top 30 for sure. And that's "Think for Yourself." Love the fuzz bass on this. It's definitely one of George's more underrated um, Beatles tracks, I think. Just a really good song, a sort of quite different songwriting for George. I think this is a sign that he was sort of stepping up his game in terms of songwriting. It's quite different to a lot of other Beatles sort of love songs in a way. Number 6, gone for "Girl." Fantastic, calm, mellow ballad. John Lennon's vocals and just the lyrics he's written here are just superb. Brilliant song. One of, in my opinion, one of the Beatles' best. It's just a fantastic song. Um, it's hard to describe it. It's just such a brilliant, brilliant song. Number 5, probably one of the more well-known tracks from the album, "Nowhere Man." I think "Nowhere Man's" just a brilliant song. The guitar work on it is brilliant. The harmonies are brilliant. It's a really great song about someone who really doesn't know what they're doing or doesn't really think about anything. They're sort of just taking life as it goes. They don't really necessarily think about or have an opinion on anything. It's just a great song, and I think it's got a great sort of laid back sort of tune to it, and I just love it. I think as well, George's guitar solo is brilliant. And it's one of the more underrated Beatles guitar solos. Number 4, another ballad here, Michelle. Brilliant acoustic work, great harmonies as well from John and George, great lyrics and vocals from Paul. Two really nice sort of calm and mellow sort of guitar solos as well. Just a brilliant song, really. Again, that's a song that sort of epitomizes Beatles ballads at the time. I think just brilliant stuff. Number 3, I've gone for If I Needed Someone. Now, I probably will admit I probably like this song a lot more than other people, but there's something about it I just really love. It captures that sort of early Beatles feel really well. I think George's vocals on this are really good. Harmonies are brilliant. I love the guitar work here from George as well. Brilliant song. I love the sort of changes in tempo and that sort of thing. I just think it's brilliant. Again, I would say this is one of the most underrated Beatles songs for sure. And number 2, and a lot of people would put this one at number 1, and I can't argue. I mean, I wouldn't personally, but it's for sure one of the Beatles' best tracks. In My Life, fantastic song, sort of John Lennon reflecting back on people and things in his life. Fantastic track. Probably mainly inspired by Stuart Sutcliffe, who was in sort of one of the original formations of the Beatles. And you can tell that this is one of those songs that really sort of comes from the heart, and it's considered a classic, and I can't really complain. Now, my personal number 1, I've gone for Norwegian Wood. I think it's just so different to a lot of the other tracks on the album. Combining the sitar, which is done by George Harrison, and just the song tells a really interesting and intriguing story as well, which I think is, again, I think it's just definitely in terms of lyrics. I think this is probably, along with In My Life, one of the stronger Beatles lyrics on this album. You could definitely argue either way. I mean, I probably prefer Norwegian Wood's lyrics just because I think the story is really interesting. That's just me anyway. But I think this is probably one of the Beatles' most underrated songs. Fantastic song, brilliant vocals on lyrics. Paul does some good harmonies as well. Fantastic song. I mean, I could really sort of talk about this all day, but I'll stop there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My next track ranking list of Beatles albums will be Revolver. So let me know your opinion. Give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow my main channel, my Twitter, and my Ask.fm. And once again, thanks for watching, guys.